What is up? Hey guys, how are you? I'm doing great. Hope everyone is wonderful. I have been resting and relaxing and recalibrating, spending a lot of time inside lately. It's been pretty dreary here the past couple of days. I did a message earlier, but I wasn't really happy with it, and it was really long. So I wanted to include some things that I didn't include because I started getting a little chatty and I missed some of the points that I wanted to make. So I made notes this time and I wanted to start over because there were some other things that I wanted to say that I didn't fit in, and the message was so long without a lot of the things that I really wanted to say. Um, I will start out by showing you guys my little area. I have created this little corner in part of my apartment. I really love it. Um, just making this place more homey. This is my little spiritual corner and I love it. I have a lot of my stones out. I have my bell. I have my little sound bowl. I'll show you guys a little of it. I tried to do this on the last video. I'm not sure if it came out. My sign says love is why be the light. I know it's probably backwards in the video, but I got these lights. I hated when my Christmas lights had to come down because I really got so used to the glow and I missed it. So I put up these lights, and then I love Five Below. I found these little moonlights there, and I've hung up a lot of my feathers that I've found on my walks, and finally found a place for them. I've always had them displayed. There's my little shelf. I love her. And yes, I have tarot cards. I don't know if you guys can see. It's kind of hard to record this, but I have a lot of my feathers displayed, which my feathers are a big part of my journey because on a lot of my walks, I did find feathers constantly, and I took those as a sign from my spirit team to let me know that I'm on the right path and I'm going the right way. It wasn't just feathers. A lot of times I found rocks or smooth sticks, like wood that keeps you grounded, mainly why I'm interested in the sticks, or pennies, little hearts, leaves in the shape of hearts, things like that. Sometimes I found them right when I was, having an epiphany, or a cathartic moment, um, or just a time when I was meditating and it happened to be in the spot where I wanted to stop. Lots of different reasons why things were meaningful to me on my path, and I decided to keep them as a memento that I was right where I was supposed to be and to not stop and to keep going. It was a confirmation to me in the moment, and you'll all find things like that on your journey as well. So I encourage you, especially out in nature, to pick them up, keep them as a reminder, something to keep you focused and to let you know that you're on the right track. So I find it very helpful to me. So I've kept them, and I finally found a place in my new apartment to display those. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick because I did that in the last video, but I didn't have my lights turned on until I was done showing and all kinds of things. I haven't made a video in a while, so trying to get myself together here, get back in the flow. I also bought a backdrop at the thrift store the other day, so I'll be using that to make some other videos. Now that I'm done with court, I want to get back on track with making my messages and helping people and teaching, because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's part of my purpose, so I'm not going to quit that, even though I can't talk about court and things having to do with my son. I'm still going to keep telling you guys about what I've been through, as far as the lessons I've learned and things that I think might be able to help you. Today, I wanted to talk about energy siphoning, ways that people can drain you of your energy. It's definitely something that narcissists do. So I've definitely been through that with several different people that have been in my life, and I know that I can help you guys with some of those things because I didn't realize it at the time. When you're calling it love and not trauma bond, or some kind of manipulative, abusive situation, you keep throwing yourself back in and you keep letting this happen to you under the guise that I need to try harder, or I need to, not give up on this situation because I've invested so much time, or I love this person. And you're not realizing that it's toxic and it's not healthy, and that you should just walk away and save your energy and not give it away, because the only way that they can really take it is if they have your permission and you keep participating in these things. So I want to help you to be aware and to realize what's happening when it's happening, and how to stop it from happening. So mainly, just to give you some definition about it, so that everything's not just coming from my experience, I want to give you some concrete information. Energy siphoning is when someone or something attempts to drain or manipulate your energy for personal gain. So, a lot of times, if you love these people, or if you're just acquaintances and you care and you're going into this with a positive outlook, you haven't identified it as anything that's harmful, it will start out as love, love bombing, um, someone saying that they care for you. You have a friendship maybe or a romance with someone, and you're giving them your positive energy, you're loving, and you're caring for them, your willingness to listen and care and love and motivate them. They'll get energy that way. A lot of times it doesn't start out as something manipulative. That's why it's hard to label and identify when it starts, because it's not going to be something that, although it may be draining, it's not going to be something that you immediately recognize as, this is not good for me, or it's depleting me in a way that I just feel run down. You could want to do this for someone. You could want to be that positive um, beam of light, the beacon in someone's life that they need. So sometimes it can start to look like, my uncle, for instance, who constantly drained me because I loved him and I wanted to help him as far as his medical needs, or him needing to figure out his phone or his email or his TV, pick out a router or things for his house. I was being siphoned that way. It was a constant pull on my energy as far as a neediness. I also had a friend who just kept going over the same scenario with this guy that she had been involved in. And even though we had processed it and we had picked it apart and unpacked it many, many times, she just kept bringing up the same situation over and over again, like a broken record. That kind of thing will siphon your energy. Um, After you stop giving that energy, or you start putting a limit on it, or it's just not enough for them anymore. A lot of times, energy vampires will turn this draining, this siphoning of your energy, a harvest of your energy, um, into something hurtful, a trauma, creating trauma or abuse for you. Um, Abandoning you, taking things away from you that you love, an emotional roller coaster, ups and downs, hurting you, leaving you, coming back for more, apologizing only to hurt you again and do the same thing over and over again. That's siphoning your energy, just bringing you down, stomping you out, attempts to steal your light in order to fill a void that they have. That's something big that narcissists do, because they don't know who they are. They're wearing a mask, to be what they think others want them to be in order to manipulate. And then behind closed doors, that mask will come off, and then the person will rear their ugly head in order to get whatever response that they want from you emotionally, so that they can drain your energy. When it's not all rainbows and unicorns, they will get the energy from you however that they can, whether it be negative or positive. So if your positive energy has run out, they can no longer draw you back in, get the sex from you. Getting sex from you is a big way to siphon your energy, especially if you are a light worker, if you deem yourself to be high vibrational. Your sex can be very healing to a low vibrational person. Very narcissistic people will definitely harvest your energy through sex. And not just your sex, they'll have other supplies. When your reserve has run out, or when they have drawn negative energy from you and tried to hurt you in some way and they can't get it from you, they'll go get it from somebody else, and then better bet they'll be back to kiss and make up, and then the whole cycle will repeat itself all over again. So I want you to understand how that siphons your energy, and also how they can be giving that energy to someone else. When you guys have made up and they come back and drain you of your energy, and then they hurt you, and then they leave, um, they're high on that energy. It's like a drug for them. It's their power source. That's what keeps them running. It feeds their ego. Um, Very much gets them on a high. That the dopamine, they're running off of your light, not their light. It's not their authentic, genuine self. It's something that they have drained from you. So they are running on your juice, your energy, your valuable, precious resources, and they're going to someone else and acting like you because they're running on your fuel. So they'll present themselves to other people as being this high vibrational person, but it's really your energy that they're masking. They're putting that on as if it's their own, and when it runs out, then they need more. So that's why they have to come back and make up with you, and try to get more of your energy by saying that they're sorry, and that they love you, when really all they need is just another hit. They're coming back for to chase the dragon, if you will. So it's just like any other drug. If they don't have what they need, they come get it from someone else. And then instead of learning from you, or trying to be, figure out who they are and how they can get their own high vibrating energy by putting in the work and healing and stuff like that, they would rather just come get it the quick, easy way by stealing it from someone. And then they'll go and parade it around town, or to their other conquests, or other friends, or whoever they leave you to go have a good time with after they've depleted you, and they act like they're, king and queen of the world, and everything's great, and look at me, but that's really not them, and it runs out. So once they find a good power source, it's hard for them to leave them alone. They have to put on that mask again, that mask that they reeled you in with. They have to put it back on. So when you identify this, please know that it's not love. It's not friendship. It's not a healthy relationship for you to have with a relative or a friend. It is something that is very harmful to you, because if you are working in the light, you're working with God, build that foundation and let that be for you. Pull that energy back, recognize it for what it is. Know that your energy is sacred, it's precious, it's meant for you. You're getting that directly from the divine, directly from your power source. They need to be getting their own from their power source. You get that from God. You harness that for yourself. You use it to better yourself, to better your own life, to go out and go back to school, to use it to achieve your goals, to drive you, to fuel you for the things that are going to be for the betterment of your own life. And love yourself so much that if you have your cup overflowing, then therefore you can share it with people that are deserving, and that people who want the best for you, and people that are working hard to fuel their self for their own goals and not take from others. Really vet them out. Don't let this discourage you from, identifying others that are worthy of your love. Once you're vibrating high and you're not letting anybody steal from you, you're going to attract others that are like you. So there are others that are deserving. There's still good people in this world. So don't close yourself off. Don't let them ruin what you may have to offer, other people may have to offer to you in the future. I want to give you some steps to cut them off. Don't be a victim of Stockholm syndrome. Don't let people that are in a bad place make you feel guilty for wanting to move on, or feeling bad for them for having a hurtful childhood or a hurtful past or a hurtful event, trauma in their life. They need to heal their own trauma. You are not responsible for healing anybody other than you. So, if you have somebody that's draining your energy and you know that they have a personality disorder, they have some trauma, they have something from their past that you can identify clearly that is causing them to act in a toxic way in whatever relationship that you're in, friendship, family, romance, whatever it may be, know that cutting them off is okay. You don't have to stay and you don't have to fix them. Definitely limit their contact to you. And if they can't stop the toxicity, they can't stop draining you of all your energy, then completely cut it off. I would just advise leaving, because it's a huge red flag that should not be ignored. You need to maintain your distance, definitely your emotional distance. Go no contact completely, no social media with them, no texting, no calling, no meeting in person. Um, Definitely no contact. Hold your boundaries, very tight, strict boundaries. If they have a problem with that, then that's a sign that you're doing the right thing. Because anybody that tries to fight or run all over your boundaries, those are who the boundaries need to be for the most. Um, Avoid confrontations, because a huge tactic of people that try to siphon your energy, especially these negative, they're low vibrating people, they don't want to put in the work. So they gossip, they're jealous, they're envious, they spew hatred and are all about malicious intent when they don't get what they want, especially, and they're jealous of your light. It irritates their demons. So they will want to evoke this negative behavior in you, have you spending all of your energy trying to tell them how they're wrong, trying to argue with them and tell them how much that you don't need them and how much better you are than this and how you're leaving them. And all of that is just pulling a plug on your energy. You're doing it yourself. You're doing it for them. They don't have to do anything but make you mad and set that fuse off so that you are just like how I used to text like crazy books telling them how much I love them and how much I wanted things to work and how much I've done for them, and why can't you just see how you're wrong, or you're not going to get over on me because I know all of this and I know all of this and I'm this smart. Like, you're just letting it all out. It's a floodgate opening all on your own, and all they're having to do is sit back and laugh and know that you have expended all of your energy without them having to lift a finger. All they had to do was ignore you, or pass judgment or gossip on you, or light a smear campaign that they needed you to fuel with your energy, because then they could sit back and say, well, look at her, look at what she's doing, I'm not doing anything, I haven't even talked to her, look at her, she's just blah 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 blah, look, she's crazy, she's going on, she's mad, she's a loose cannon, all this stuff. So that's another way that they try to set you off. You have to have that emotional security to not give them what they want. Who cares what they think? You are better off without them. You don't have to have any contact with them, and after you put the work in on yourself, you're gonna see how much brighter your light shines without them, and that you need to use that to better yourself and just move on from it. So definitely self-care, definitely put love into yourself. Just love yourself, buy yourself flowers, go out, transmute that negative energy into positivity, turn that pain into power and purpose. Be your true, genuine, authentic self and shine that way. moving forward. Being alone is okay. I love being alone. I love being alone. I'm not closed off to finding love in the future, but I'm definitely vetting them out, and I'm taking my time as far as um, having friends first, not jumping into anything, and then taking the time just to be by myself and remember what that's like and what I like. Shedding all of that manipulation and that indoctrination and that conditioning that you have by being in an abusive relationship. Um, Learning what it's like to be you again, not the you that has to please, not the you that has to be codependent and they're scared of landmines and walking on eggshells to not set the other person off or not want them to leave, the fear of abandonment. Like, to be you without all of that, it's so freeing. It's great. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of anything. Definitely meditate and connect with your higher self. That is a big thing. Stay in prayer, build that foundation with God without these people in your life, so that you can have, this healthy start, this healthy new beginning for yourself. And definitely don't trauma bond with people. If you work on your traumas, and then you meet someone else who has a trauma like you or a different trauma to where you feel sympathetic, it doesn't mean that you need to bond with these people. If you feel triggered and you've worked on yourself, know that that's not you. That's something toxic that's trying to pull you back into an old pattern, an old cycle. And once you've been in a relationship like this, know that you can close it out and learn to identify it going forward for what it is, so that you don't bond with someone else like that. You want to bond with someone that has healed, that has these healing green flags, right? Like, open yourself up to healed people, people that support you on your healing journey, not people that want to love bomb you and manipulate you and trauma bond with you. People that are want to take their time and not dump their past on you. People that tell you that they've put in the work and they show it. They are walking the talk. They have a good foundation that they've built off of, and you want to come together healed with someone, so that you don't bring all of this old trauma that's unhealed, these open wounds, into a new relationship and expect someone else to heal it for you, or to siphon their energy to help cover and be a band-aid for their trauma, because it's just going to erupt and it's just going to manifest itself all over again. So that's why you want to make sure that you deal with these things, and you deal with these things away from other people. Definitely seek out professional help if you need to. Counselors, mentors, things like that. But don't think that someone else is going to be the answer to your trauma. You need to heal that, and then make sure that anyone else that you want to be friends with or connect with in the future, I wouldn't suggest going back to the past. Let them heal. Let them start over with somebody else. That doesn't need to be you. Um, Often people will profile you. Narcissists know how to sniff out easy targets, good supplies. So they will often choose people that have bright lights that they know they can siphon energy from. They're a good source that they can go back to over and over. And when you're in your walk with God and you're building a new foundation, you're working on yourself, you're loving on yourself. Um, you're not that same person that you used to be. So when they try to suck you back in, reel you back in, the old things don't work anymore, because they're profiling you off of the low vibrational person, the person that they trauma bonded with, that had these open wounds, and they had these negative attachments, addictions, whether that be, sex, whether that be food, whether that be substances, whether that be um, anything that covers up a wound. That's a band-aid for that, and actually not dealing with the issue at hand. They're trying to relate to that person. They're trying to set that person off. They're trying to um, create difficulties for the person that they knew in the lower vibration. And once you're working on yourself, they are not looking at the same person anymore. You're different than the person that they met. They may think that that's a joke or um, it's false, it's not really happening, but the things that they try won't work if you really are healing and working on yourself. You really are changed. You aren't falling for the same tricks that they used to pull. You're no longer interested in those unhealed people. You are interested in hanging out with yourself because you're working on yourself, or you're interested in hanging out with people, the other people that have also worked on their self, and they have goals and aspirations and they want the best for other people and they're not trying to bring them down. You will start to recognize happiness in a different way. Peace will be so much more um, appealing to you. You won't want to be on that emotional roller coaster with anybody. So, you being a different person will show, but their triggers are the same, because if they're not working on their self and they're still in that negative, low vibrating space, then they are still the same person that they've always been. And it's very easy to recognize once you've done your shadow work. You can, even though you're not operating in your lower vibrations anymore, you've been there. You know what it is. You know how you could identify it better because you've been that person. You've been in that shared space with them. You know exactly what it's about. You know how it gets started. You know the end goal. You know um, every bit of that groundwork that goes into building those trauma bonds and being in that space where energy is siphoned from you. So they're not changing. They're still the same. All of their games, all of their plays, all of their blueprints, it's still the same. But you are different. So they don't know how to approach you anymore. They only know how to approach the old you. And that person isn't there anymore. So keep going up. Once you're on that path, just keep working on yourself. Don't go back. It's no longer going to be appealing to you, and don't let them pull you back in. It's only going to drain you all over again. It's going to keep you in that toxic cycle, and you can't ascend. Ascension is the name of the game. There's levels to this. You want to level up so that you can be on to the next. You're on to a different timeline. You will be rewarded by God for putting in the work, and He will send people your way that are deserving of your love. So don't miss out on those gifts from God. I met a person once. Actually, my ex-husband is not who inspired this message. That's one reason that I wanted to do it over, because I don't want any credit going to him. Definitely some bullet points um, are similar to my marriage, but I was thinking earlier about someone that I had met before, and I've done a video on them, and how they told me, I'm not sure if it's in one of my blocked videos or not, but they had told me that they were a farmer. And I had thought, because they had previous conviction into jail time for having grown marijuana, that they were trying to be cheeky about having grown marijuana. But now that I know the situation better, they were talking about being an energy harvester. That's what kind of farmer they were. And I actually saw a news article the other day. Well, let me start. I saw a mugshot of someone from Saudi Daisy where it said that they had committed wire fraud or theft, or maybe both. I'm not sure exactly how it was labeled. It's been a long time ago, but it got my attention because it was an Asian man from Saudi Daisy. And I was like, that's weird. And I thought this might be associated with this group that I have felt targeted by for a long time. And so I just kind of tucked that away. Didn't hear anything about it for a while. And then there was a news article where it said that two Asian men were involved in scamming this man from Saudi Daisy for over $1.3 million. So I was like, scammers, because this group is definitely involved in some scams. I know my uncle had been a part of an insurance scam while I lived for him and lived with him, not for him. Ooh, that's awful to say. Um, but definitely have seen evidence of some insurance scams, life insurance scams, things like that. I know a lot of these groups on more elite levels, people will become when they can't gatekeep them and they can't control them anymore as far as keeping them where they want them and inside their little group, and they don't have enough to blackmail them on, they will be more valuable to them, more dead than alive. Say like Biggie, for instance, and Diddy. Um, I, Positive Diddy probably had an insurance policy on Biggie. If you listen to any of these things, you would know that Biggie wanted to leave and they didn't have enough to control him or make him stay. So he became more valuable dead than alive. So it's definitely a thing. These smaller groups definitely mirror these larger groups, especially when it comes to Masons and when it comes to little secret societies and stuff, because they will, gatekeep. They will make sure they get dirt on you. They're always there to advance each other's careers so that they have um, different levels of help when they need reach, to be able to do whatever they need someone to do with whoever they need them to do it to. So, anyway, the scamming caught my eye in this news article, and it said that these guys were asking the man to convert his money to crypto, and when he didn't know how, they were asking him to convert it to gold bars, which rang some bells because my uncle is all about gold and things not being traceable. Doesn't want anything of his on the internet. I was constantly buying things for him on my cards, or he was buying gift cards to buy things off of eBay and such because he didn't want anything of his on the internet, which is funny how I found um, lots of things on his background check that he probably didn't want on the internet, but they were, regardless of how hard he tried. But anyway, these guys eventually got caught because they were in a hit and run where this truck rammed one of the Asian guys and hit him with his truck and then robbed him. And they said they were working for a man named Andy out of California, and the police already had a picture of Andy that they asked him to verify if this was the Andy. Now, during the summer last year, there was a girl that I worked with that kept trying to get me to rent property in Cleveland, where I was working, about 30-45 minutes away from where I was staying in the hotel. And I kept telling her I appreciated the help. This girl was trying to be my new best friend. I mean, laying it on thick, You got a YouTube channel? I got a YouTube channel. You want to write a book? I want to write a book. All these things, trying to be I was married to a narcissist, trying to be a carbon copy of me. And I was not in a space where I wanted a new best friend, but she kept sending me these listings trying to get me to rent in Cleveland. And I told her I don't want to be that far away from my son. And she almost stopped, but then she sent me one more that was like halfway in between Chattanooga and Cleveland, and it was for rent by this guy named Andy. And I told her that that was sus to me because Andy looked very much like a guy I knew named Adam. A little bit different, but a lot of the features were the same. And she said, I don't know who that is. I don't know this guy. And it was very, very suspicious, but I just blew it off and told her that she could stop sending me the listings. And yeah, so Adam also lived in California, and so does this Andy guy. So it's very interesting. I've also seen some other people that go by different names online that I've met. So whether you're um, Adam, whether you're Andy, whether you're Cynthia, whether you're Susan, whether you're Sarah, whether you're John, whether you're Brett, um, it's all coming to light. Everything's coming out. Once they peel back these layers of this scammer group, who's obviously not solely in California, considering this people knew these Asians in Saudi Daisy enough to know to hit them with their truck and rob them. They knew what they had. People know what they're doing, so people are going to talk. They're not going to go down for these things by themselves, and there's a lot more going on than just what has hit the news. So um, while these people may have been profiling me, I've been paying quite a bit of attention myself, and I've profiled them along the way. No, I haven't let it hinder me. I've kept living my life. I've kept doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Definitely staying out of it. I'm so glad that I got removed from that. I'm so happy for my enemies having done some of the things that they did to me, all the things that they did to me, because I probably never would have moved. I never would have left these relatives. I never would have stopped talking to some of the people that I've stopped talking to. They don't have any connection to me anymore. They can't siphon my energy. They can't say that I'm a part of any of their group because I don't talk to any of them. And I probably would have stayed there and kept loving my uncle regardless, or kept giving people more chances. Um, I know some of them have gotten new phones. They've closed down their social media accounts. They've tried to prepare for how, when this goes down, that it won't be tracked back to them. But I can tell you, they already had a picture of Andy from California to give to these guys for a reference. They've been on to this for quite some time, and they know who's connected to who. And once they start digging, and like I said, peeling back the layers, they're gonna know. They're gonna know more and more and more. So it's all gonna come out. Everything that is done in the dark will come to light. So you just have to wait on God's divine timing for things like that. Just know that, when you walk with God, He's not finished until you're redeemed, until you're vindicated. That's the name of the game. So it's ironic how far these people will go to discredit whistleblowers and people that talk, are truth tellers about what's been done in the dark and shining a light on it. It's funny how far that they will go to cover their own ass as far as aliases and things that they do to discredit you, um, lying and the smear campaigns and things like that, that narratives about you being crazy. Um, it's so crazy everything that they're doing. And when it starts backfiring, that they've just dug a bigger and bigger hole because you have to make up more lies to cover up for the lies. And eventually you're going to start to stick out like a sore thumb. So it only gets you in more trouble. It only makes you look more crazy than the person that you tried to call crazy because of all the things that you've had to do to cover it up. So, how's that working out for you? And the spell work. I have seen spell work backfire. Crazy. One of the families that tried to cause a lot of trouble for me with my cake business when it started declining. Um, there has been so much death in their family, and it's so sad. It's been young, old, and in between. Another family that tried to start trouble for me, there was a baby that died. Like, I hate to see it all. I hate to see it. And you can't say that I did it because I don't do spell work. And spell work can be just bad mouthing someone with your mouth, putting negative things out into the universe about someone. Um, but I've been put in dangerous situations by the one family who had the most death that I've seen, and it is so sad. But you can't say that I did it because I told you months, even a year ago, that if you put these negative intentions out into the universe, that it's not going to hit somebody high vibrational. And you can't say that just because you send something to someone high vibrational and it's brought other people down that might have been in low vibrations before, that it's going to do the same to everybody else. You never know who God has anointed to put in your path to test you. And you don't know how they may be able to transmute that negative energy into something positive, that it's going to bounce off. And the energy isn't going to just go away. It may change forms, but it doesn't go away. It has to go back somewhere. And I'm not sending it there. I send everything back with love and light. I pray for my enemies every day. I have said the same prayer for hundreds of times every single day. I pray for them to break away from their negative and demonic attachments. I pray for them to stop what they're doing and turn around and repent, to shine their light for themselves and others, for God to show them that He is the way and it is never too late. I have already forgiven them. I will always show them compassion and grace. You see how freely that flows from my mouth, because I say that every single day for my enemies, every single day for hundreds of days in a row. So it's not me. You need to be careful with this stuff, because when you mess with things, that you don't truly know what they are, and you're sending it towards a high vibrational person, or a person that knows how to eat it up and turn it into fuel for their fire. And I don't mean combative fire, I mean fire to help them to draw closer to God, to keep shining their light brighter and brighter and brighter. It's not going to hit them, and it has to go back somewhere. Therefore, it's going to hit someone that you love, or you yourself. So be very, very cautious of stuff like that. Don't do it. Don't play with negative energy, whether that be your words, your intentions, or actions that you take. It will come back on you. So that's my message for today. I'm going to start chiming in more. I can't talk about my son or my case, but I'm going to keep helping you guys with all of the things that I've been through as I'm still going through them, so that you don't have as hard a time as I might have, or ways that I've found to make it easier for me. And I hope it works for you as well. So I love you. God loves you. You're never alone. Bye.